This is a random snow village on the Fracture SMP, and this is me, over 100 blocks down underground in an ancient city, being smoked by a warden that spawned in the walls. Not only is the warden arguably the most deadly mob in Minecraft, I'm also in hard mode, meaning that with full prop 4, one warden sonic charge gets me down to only 3 hearts. However, this is the start of the SMP, and I don't know or trust many people, which is why I'm down at Y60 in the first place. I've been gearing to become 100% stacked as fast as I can so that I'll be able to defend myself and then become the most powerful player on the SMP. But since I couldn't get out of this situation by myself, my only choice was to get someone to help. At this point in the server, I had already met up with a player named 696C7961, who, for the purposes of having a less than 30-minute video, I will refer to as C7. So I DM'd him and got him to run to the cords I sent him, so that the warden would despawn. Surprisingly, he said he could do it and managed to despawn the warden and then help me finish looting the ancient city. We scoured the whole thing for good enchanting books and enchanted golden apples. With my 45 diamonds from that caving and looting trip and a new friendship, I headed to the surface to dupe my 2 remaining armor upgrades in order to get a full netherite armor set and weapons and become the most powerful player. But when I went to check my hidden netherite chest, all my loot was gone. I knew that whoever did this, I would need to get revenge. As I was thinking about how to find out who did it, I realized something. I had seen another player who's supposed to be my new teammate hanging around the entrance to my storage location with no particular reason to be there. After asking around, it seemed like he was the most likely person to have stolen my netherite and upgrades. Bro, did you do it? Can you just tell me please? With this latest development, my worst fears about having my team dissolve started to look like a reality. The next day, I found out that my only trustworthy teammate C7 had been killed multiple times and was now banned. With my team now definitely dissolving into chaos around me, I decided I couldn't stay and be betrayed again, so with that, I decided to build my own base and leave the disintegrating team behind me. Logging on to start with the moving process only confirmed my worst fears. My iron farm and everything I had made for the base had been griefed, with all the potions and valuables stolen. Guys, right now I'm thinking something. My team's base got destroyed, but since someone took all the pods and stuff, I won't be the most powerful anymore. But that was going to change. A plan was slowly evolving in my head to take back the title of the most powerful player on the server. Guys, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to need to trap him. However, I was now without any team or any base, and for me to have enough resources for even one fight, I was going to have to change one of those things. So after messaging some other players to join their team, I decided to also start on a base for me to fall back to. Now with the potions and gear, I could start to work on any trap. But if any trap was going to work, it was going to need to be very powerful and have at least some size. But that meant grinding for materials, so after drafting up a plan, I got to work grinding. After this, I headed back to the surface to prepare my stuff. Dude, this inventory is stacked as. Now, on this server, if you kill someone then you gain— Shut up, Salu, we've all heard about Lifesteal. Okay, well, yeah, sorry, but this is a Lifesteal server, so I have to be super smart and make sure my trap is good enough to kill someone with up to 20 hearts. Unfortunately, I already knew who the player who griefed my team's base and stole my netherite was. A half-strawberry, half-lettuce guy named freaking half-celery who's literally related to half the fruit in the fruit salad that your auntie makes at family reunions. How do I know this? Because he pretty much admitted it when he told me to come to him so that he could give back the netherite that he admitted to stealing. Of course, it was kind of sus that he was offering to give it back, so I initially denied the offer, but after talking to a teammate who had only just joined our team, he reassured me that it would be fine, because half-celery was a teammate. That was where I made my first worst mistake. The player who I talked to was Boxination, who I later found out was literally allied with the one and only walking fruit salad man who admitted to stealing, so of course he was going to reassure me to go. After running around for a bit talking, I noticed he had strength particles, so to test whether he would attack or not, I stopped moving and pretended to tab out. Sadly, I wasn't recording as I was not expecting this to happen, so I have no audio or first-person perspective of this fight. As Sun Tzu famously said in his book, The Art of War, always be prepared to record your enemy in a fight. After exchanging a few hits, I remembered that this guy already had some extra hearts, so without hard advantage and without the element of surprise, I was forced to make a tactical retreat. However, this guy seemed to have more pearls than me, and after following a few to try and duke him out, I realized that this strat was not going to work, as Celery was a better player than I had anticipated. If I couldn't think of something fast, I was going to die. The next day, I checked the server to find out this guy actually had been the person to farm my teammate C7, who was now banned, and now actually had 20 hearts. I then returned to my base and re-geared for my revenge. With most of the materials I needed, I ran to spawn, where I was going to build my trap. So Salu, you know what it's time for, cue the epic build montage. Bro, there's literally a ravine right under where I'm digging. Look, which will make it so much faster, dude. It's gonna make it so much faster. After using some more TNT to make my job easier, I decided the pit was deep enough. Now all I needed to do was set up the redstone, buttons, dripstone, signs, and carpets. In a few hours, this trap would be fully functional and would be able to make me the most powerful player on the server. After doing some testing with dripstones and making some extreme groundbreaking discoveries, I realized this thing had to be a lot bigger to kill someone with full prot 4 and 20 hearts, so I got to work expanding it. However, partway through building this, I realized something. What if someone comes to spawn and breaks the trap while I'm off, guys? Like, what do? Do I just, like, monitor the tab list? But after thinking about it, I knew I'd just have to hope I could build this thing as fast as possible and get it done before anyone interfered. After getting the piston system finally working and almost dying to my own trap in the process, it was time for the first test. It worked great. In fact, I didn't even mean it to work so many times, but still, it served its purpose, so I let it be. Also, can I just pause for a second to say that I'm sorry to all you redstone masters who can probably see a lot of flaws throughout this. Anyway, so after finishing the redstone, I moved on to the deadly part, the dripstones. Before we get onto that though, you might be wondering,
hey Salu, how are you going to get a known enemy into that sus-ass trap, Salu?
Well, I should have mentioned earlier that this server has TPA, which is how I got from my base to half salary when he tried to kill me. Honestly, I'd rather it wasn't a thing on here, but since it was, I was going to make the most of it. I was going to fill the floor with signs and carpets, all attached to the block below my redstone torch in the corner. Standing in the middle of the trap, I'd get him to TPA to me, and then I'd pearl into the corner where I'd mine both blocks and finally, after all this, get my revenge. As someone famous who I don't remember said, revenge is a dish best served cold. but mine wasn't going to be cold. It was going to be cool. Really cool. Also, I somehow managed to trap a witch at the bottom in case he survived, so, I mean, good luck with that.